All right, so I'm making this video on December 28th, and the biggest opportunity for real estate agents in 2024 is just a few days away. And so I want to make this video to make sure that you don't miss out on this opportunity. What is the opportunity I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about what happens every January 1st. And on the 1st of every year, you, in every single market, doesn't matter what market you are in, you will get hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 plus expired listing leads in your market. And so most agents mark, and the reason for that is very simple, that there's a lot of listings in your marketplace that expire on New Year's Eve, on December 31st. And so when you wake up on the first day of 2024, which is just a few days away, you could have thousands and thousands of opportunity of underserved consumers that need to list and sell their property in 2024. And so in this video, I want to talk to you about a couple things. What does the opportunity look like? Where to get the contact information for these opportunities? And then most importantly, we'll spend the second half of the video talking about how to work these opportunities and how to convert these opportunities into actual listing appointments and eventually listing and selling of the home. All right. So let me show you something really quick. I'm going to share my screen and I want to show you what happened in my market this time last year. All right. So every market's a little bit different. I'm just logging into my MLS now and I'll show you what this looked like just about a year ago. All right. So if I go do a simple search inside of my MLS and I say, okay, I want to look at all the expired listings and I want to look at this for, we'll go back to, I want to go back to December 31st and we'll go to January 1st. Just, I want you to see the opportunity that could be in front of you here in the next few days. Last year, this time, if you look at this, there was over 1,200 expired listing leads in one day on the first of the year. And so this is a great opportunity for us, right? We have homeowners, for the vast majority, are all at home with their listings that have not sold. They're no longer under contract with their agent. And many of them need to relist the property and get their property sold. And here's the greatest thing about these expired listings specifically versus the expired listings that may just expire throughout the year is we're already past the holidays, right? So if you've been prospecting for any length of time, you know for the last 90 days, one of the biggest objections we've been getting is, well, I want to wait till after Christmas. I want to wait till after the new year. Well, both of those things have already occurred, right? So now we can have better conversations. So you might have, like I said, a couple hundred or maybe even 1,000 more or 1,000 opportunities on the first of the year. And here's what we know. Your competition is sleeping in. Your competition is not working. They all say they've got these big goals, but rarely do we see real estate agents actually work on the first day of the year. This could set you up to have your best year in real estate. With interest rates coming lower, we believe transactions will go up. We believe a lot of these sellers, as a byproduct of high interest rates in the later part of 2023, a lot of these sellers, we can revisit that motivation with much lower interest rates, which as a result, there's higher demand for their properties, could be a really good opportunity for you. All right, now let's talk about where to get the data, all right? So that's a huge question that I get. Now, yes, you can go inside of your MLS and find the properties, but we're talking about the contact information, okay? So my recommendation is to use a company called Vulcan 7. It's who we use. There's many, many providers of contact data out there. We just believe they have the best data. And as a result, we have the best opportunity to get into contact with the homeowner, right? I literally just hung up with one of my coaching clients who's with another company. And she was just saying, hey, should I switch over to Vulcan 7? They're a little bit more expensive. Well, I said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. In other words, if you're going to spend the time, energy, and effort reaching out to these homeowners anyways, and let's just say you reach out to 100 of them, and one company, out of reaching out of 100, you can talk to 5 of them. And with Vulcan 7, you can talk to 20 of them because the data is better, which puts you in conversations more often. I don't know about you, but I'd rather pay a little bit extra to have twice or three times or four times as much opportunity because I know my conversion. If I can talk to 20, 30 of those people versus 5, 6, or 7 of those people, the likelihood for me to get a listing appointment and therefore a listing or a sale goes up dramatically. So there's a link to Vulcan 7. You can have a conversation with them, decide if they're the platform for you or not. All right. So now let's spend some time on how to actually work expired listing leads. All right. So first and foremost, the question always becomes, well, how do I have that conversation? What do I say? What do I ask? What is it that I'm trying to communicate? Well, first things first, the mindset around communicating to an expired listing has to be that of a second opinion. Has to be a second opinion. Hey, listen, we already have the facts. The facts are they hired a real estate agent, and for whatever reason, that real estate agent failed to get the property sold. That's the fact. We can't argue, like that is what it is, right? So the approach is coming from a place of looking at a second opinion. Now, specifically what to say, all you have to do is simply just grab my new script book. I've got my brand new expired script in there. There's a link right in the description below. Just grab that script. It'll outline the entire conversation. So I'm not going to get into that per se right now. There's some other things I want to talk about strategically, but that will outline exactly what you should say, word for word, verbatim, so that you can generate a lead and you can generate an appointment. Okay. So what I first recommend, let's pretend you use a system like a Vulcan 7 or a company like them, and you're getting your expired listing data from a company like that. What your competitors, what most agents do is they get this data, they load it up into their system, and they hit go. And the system starts to help you make contact with these people, right? That's what the vast majority of your competitors will do. The way in which I coach agents to do this is a little bit different, and it makes a massive difference. Rather than just doing that, the problem with that is this. Let's just say you get 1,000 expired listings on the first day of 2024. Well, you may not want to spend your time going after all 1,000 of those people. And there's no sense of prioritization if you load the data up from a data provider like a Vulcan 7 or one of their competitors. If you were to just load the data up and hit start, well, the system doesn't know which areas you specialize in. The system doesn't know what type of property you specialize in, has no idea. It's downloading the data from your MLS, putting it into a format, and it is what it is. And that's what most of your competitors do. So what I want you to do differently than that, and what I coach agents to do differently than that, is to go sniper mode, right? So what I mean by that is this. I want you to get access to the data as soon as you possibly can. You should have that probably about 7 a.m. on the first day of the year. And I want you to hand select 20, 25, 30 of those properties. And I want you to be strategic with which ones you pick. I want you to pick the ones where you know the area is the best. It appears to be the most saleable home, meaning you looked at the photos, you looked at the condition, you looked at the price point, you looked at the area, and you say to yourself, wow, there's no reason why this thing should not have sold. It makes sense to go after these 20, 30, because what you'll find is in doing that exercise, you're going to say, wow, I'm glad I didn't waste my energy going after this property for whatever reason. Maybe it's a property way outside of your market area at a price point that you don't serve, the type of property that you can't even work with. Because I see a lot of agents spending a lot of time in outbound prospecting, like I'm asking them to do, only to be in conversations with prospects that they have no business talking to, right? So if we're going to spend our time, energy, and effort doing an activity like outbound prospecting, why not spend that time with the right people? So hand select, go through the data, hand select 20, 25, 30 of those properties, okay? You're going to have plenty to choose from. You're going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to choose from. Pick the best opportunities for yourself. Again, the criteria is which neighborhoods do I know the best? Which areas do I have the most market share in? What type of property do I know I can get that thing sold? And the reason why that didn't sell is probably because they had an agent that wasn't willing to tell them the truth around what it's going to take to get it sold. I know I can get that property sold. That's how we're going to hand select the 2025 properties. That's the first thing I wrote down. Now, the second thing that we're going to do, once we have our list of 20, 30 property owners that we've hand selected, we're not going to use a dialer. We're not going to use any of that stuff at all. We're going to hand dial each one of them, okay? And the reason for that is for a couple things, all right? Number one, I would be leaving a personalized voicemail on every single one of these conversations on the first day of the year, okay? The amount of agents working on this day is very, very low. So therefore, we want to seize the opportunity to be the first voice that they hear when their property has come off the market, because we know that all the studies show sellers end up listing their home with the first agent they talk to. All right. So we want you to be that first agent that they talk to. So we're going to hand dial. Okay. We're going to hand dial every single one of them, and we're going to try to get them on the phone. The second thing is, if we can't get them on the phone, I want you to shoot a video. All right. A short video right on your phone. Don't let this overwhelm you. The video is very, very simple, very, very basic, right? You can simply hold up your phone. Hey, it's Brandon. I'm a local real estate agent wishing you and your family a happy new year. I just saw that your property had come off the market unsold, and I was just curious if you're still open to the idea of an offer. If it made sense, shoot me a text and let me know. Either way, no big deal, right? You can shoot a simple text or video like that one time, and then use that video to send every single property owner that you don't get on the phone. So we're going to attempt to first call. Can't get them on the phone because nothing's better than a face-to-face conversation, which we'll talk about in a minute. But outside of a face-to-face conversation, the next best thing is a voice-to-voice conversation. And if we can't get them on the phone, we're going to send that simple video text. If we call them, if we send them a video text, remember it's only 20 or 30 of these, then the last thing that we're going to look to do to get in touch with this person on the first day of the year, the first day they come off the market, is we're going to go and knock on their door to introduce ourselves, and we're going to follow the script right from the script book, and we're going to bring a copy of our resume to drop off. And what you will find, we call this 1, 2, 3. Okay, we call this 1, 2, 3. First, we're going to call the person. Okay, we're going to try to get them on the phone. Second, we're going to send them a video text. And then thirdly, if we still don't get in touch with them, later in the afternoon, after you've had many, many conversations, because you're actually doing the work, all of those 20 or 30 property owners that you chose from, anyone that you didn't get in touch with in the morning, and I recommend that you start having these conversations around 10 a.m., anybody that you don't get in touch with by 2, 3, 4 o'clock, then we can spend the afternoon in our proactive lead generation and knocking on the door, okay? And having the same conversation you would have had over the phone, just now it's in person, you bring a copy of your resume. And I think what you're going to find is that in one day, you could probably generate more leads and more appointments on any other time throughout the year. And I don't know about you, but I would imagine you probably have some exciting goals that you want to accomplish in 2024. Well, there's nothing better than coming out of the gate on the first day of the year with 7 listing appointments set for that second week of the year, or that first week of the year. This will build your confidence. This starts to build in some discipline. This starts to solidify some conviction around your commitment to yourself. And so I challenge you and everyone here to take advantage of this opportunity that only comes once. Only one time throughout the year do you get this many actual listing opportunities. And I would challenge you to take advantage of this, because the vast majority of your competitors won't do it. The vast majority. And if you are the one agent who's out there having these conversations, you will have some good conversations. You'll generate a lot of leads, and you'll start off the year doing, I think, what you want, which is to build a listing-based business.